Each back teeth, you can either get a flip-top head or get reach.
Hello there and welcome back. It is me, Tarman. Today we're going to be painting a tank, but not just any tank, a Leman Russ. So let's hop into it. And here we are. Here is the tank we are going to be painting today. This is actually a commission that's one of my friends gave me, but I'm just going to be painting it up. I've already went ahead and primed it black. So that's the first thing you want to do. If you're wondering what the white specks are, that is just because a paint can explode it. This was sitting on a shelf waiting to be painted, and one of my paints exploded and kind of splattered, but it's okay. So first thing you want to do with these models is prime it and then prime it black. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the airbrush and highlight the whole model. So next thing I'm going to do is highlight it a white. So let's go do that. Alright, and there we are. Now it's all nicely and highlighted. As you see, I'm painting a lot more tanks as I'm here. Highlight it, but I want to add in that little red and white striping, so that's why the front of the tank is painted all nice bright and white. So I'm going to mask it off and then paint it red. So let's do it. And there we are. Now we got that nice little red line picked out on the front, so now I just need to mask it off, and then we're going to hop over to the green. And the green I'm just going to be using is this, but I'm just going to run it through my airbrush. So let's do it. Alright, so now we have the green all picked out. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add in like a camo streak. So I'm going to go in with a darker green. This is what I'm going to use. Let's do it. And there we are. And we have tiger stripes on this. Now I'm just going to get a black and just repaint the tracks and add a little scorch mark on that damage right there. So let's do it. And here we are. Got it all nice and airbrushed up. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put the decals on it and clear coat it a matte. And then we're going to get into the metallics and weathering of the kit. So next time you see it, it will be matted with decals. And there we are. Now the decals are on. So the next thing we're going to be doing is the silvery bits. And what we're going to be using for that is this. And there we are. Went ahead and got all the nice little silvery bits picked out. Now we're going to pick out the sandbags on the front, and what we're going to be using is this. And there we are. They're still drying right now, but while that is drying, we're going to add some rust on the exhaust. And what I have for that is these. So let's add some rust. And there we are. Got a nice little rust look to it. Now we're going to hop over to these. We are just going to dry brush, where is it? This, over those sandbags to kind of brighten them up. So let's do it. And there we are. Now really the next thing to do, I did go in with a little bright silver and add in the chipping on the battle damage. Really the next thing to do is to add like a highlight of a silver and a blue tint to show the guns get really hot. So what I'm going to use to kind of dry brush is this. And then I'm going to go near the edges very lightly with this. And there we are. Now we're just going to hit it a little bit with black dry brushing on the edge of the barrels to show like the debris from the gun shell going off, like a little burn mark at the end of the barrels, and a little bit of dry brushing at the end of the exhaust. And I'm just going to use a black, probably this super duper cheap black paint. So let's do it. And there we are. Now I just need to pick out some lenses on the cupola at the very top. And I'm just going to be using this. this to add a little glare into it. And here we are. This was a huge speed paint, and you're probably thinking, this thing looks like... Well, I would agree with you. But to make it go the extra mile, honestly, you could say this model is done, ready for the battlefield as a huge speed paint. But I want to go the extra mile, so we're going to add weathering all to this. So let's pull out the mud and grime paints and go ham on making this sucker look like it's been going through some trenches. So here are the paints we are going to be using. I have this mud, which is more like a paste, but it has really thick textures all in it. So that's what we're going to be using to start with. And then we have the pigment powders that we will be using, which this is one pigment powder that I will be using. As you can see, I use this sucker a lot. I don't even know which one this is. There it is. Yeah. And then I have this other pigment powder. And then I have these two other paints that are made for mud and stuff like that, which we'll just be doing some splatters. So we have these two, and then a really bright one for just doing splattering effects. So we're going to be using all these paints for the combinations of weathering this bad boy to make it look like it's been lived in. So let's do it. And there we are. I decided not to use my pigment powder. I didn't think it really needed it. But now this tank has been dirtied and grimed. Like it's been driving through some thick mud, which I like. Which I feel like helps tie this little model together. Yeah, this model has issues, but I'm just doing this for a friend. It's a quick little speed paint. Get this guy on the field as fast as possible. So that's pretty much it. You know, I mean... We're just trying to get it to look good enough to get it on the battlefield. This was a very quick paint scheme, you know, and I think it does pull off a pretty good effect. But without further ado, that's pretty much it. Cut to me. Well, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed painting this tank. I'm a big fan of the 40k tanks, even though they are very impractical. But I just love the sheer, just good enough, spit it out, get them on the field look of these tanks. And yeah, I just had a lot of fun painting this one, doing the dirt and grime and just all of that, the schemes. But I just hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much for all of those that do watch my videos. I appreciate it so much. I don't do this for money or anything. I just do it because I enjoy painting models. But without further ado, enjoy the montage.
The Imperial Guard stands fast, but they are surrounded by the greenskins. Death Dread! The Greenskins have deployed a Death Dread, but the Imperial Guard needs reinforcements. It's time to call in the Leman Russ. After a long, brutal battle, the Imperial Guard has come out victorious due to the Leman Russ main battle tank.